Hey everybody, this is Jason with Jason Reardon Kayaking. On today's build, we're going to be taking the RVR 119 by Bonafide and we're going to install some 2-inch seat risers. Now this Bonafide is part of an entire build series I'm doing for it, and there'll be additional videos out there for you guys to check out on all the modifications I'm doing. But for today's video, we're adding some 2-inch seat risers I picked up from 3D Yak. I'll be sure to take a moment to include a link in the video so that you can go and check the gentleman's page out. He has some pretty nice products specific for the RVR and other kayaks. Also to the rear, we're going to be adding a 2.5-inch yoga block. We're going to take and customize that, cut it down a little bit. We're going to add some industrial Velcro to allow it to be able to be secured to the kayak itself, but also to be able to remove it if you want to actually take the seat and put it back into the standard position. So we'll go through the entire build for this. We'll do some up close at the end of the video to kind of show you exactly what we did. And then if you guys would and you like my video, take a moment to share it with your friends, share it on social media. I would love for you to take a moment to subscribe to my channel. I'm looking forward to put out more content for you all. And then of course, as always, I would really appreciate take a moment just to hit that like button. And again, thanks for watching. Let's get into the build. Okay, so here we are. We've got this 2.5-inch yoga block I got off of Amazon. It is the extra large. I caught it on sale, so I figured why not go ahead and pick it up. It's 16 inches and it's 10 inches wide. This did come in a double pack. Has a piece of Velcro on the end where it would adhere to the other block, which has the receiving piece of the Velcro. But again, we don't need this entire 10 inches, so we're going to cut this in half down to 5 inches to place in the back of the seat well for this RVR seat rise that we're getting ready to install. I have these 2-inch seat risers I was able to pick up from, if we can get a focus there for you. Got these from 3D Yak, and gentleman there makes a phenomenal product. He's out of Alabama, does a really good job on his products. I've got some other products of his I'll review a little later as well. I'll put in a link in the description at the bottom of the video so that you guys can go and check out his stuff. He offers a few other things for the RVR, but for this particular build, for this particular video, we're going to do this seat rise, and again, we're going to do 2-inch blocks on the front, this 2.5 on the back, and so we're going to cut this at the 5-inch mark, and then from there we'll do an installation. I also have this Velcro. It's industrial strength. I picked it up from Lowe's. I think it was like maybe $10 for the box. It's a 4-foot by 2-inch piece, so it's going to work well for this. The Velcro on this is actually 2 inches, so kind of a perfect fit there. So anyway, let's take a minute here and let's cut this line here and see how well it comes out. Now, I will tell you guys, before starting this video, I did place a brand new razor blade in this cutter because I wanted this thing to be as sharp as it could when I went to go and make this cut for this pad. I wanted it to look nice. Didn't want it to look all janky, so hopefully when we get done here, we'll have a nice smooth cut. I am cutting this on a cutting mat I have here in my shop. As I refer to this shop, I call it the Yak Shack. So we'll maybe do a tour of that one day and let you guys have a look at what all I've got in this place. Nothing fancy. It's just a shed in my backyard that I like to get out and have a little downtime, per se. Pretty much a man cave, or again, Yak Shack. So anyway, we're back at this cut here, so let's see what we got. Maybe a few more little slices through to make sure it's well cut, so we're not ending up with any kind of jagged edges. And I feel like we're getting all the way through. We'll find out here in a second. Oh yeah, very nice. So there's the cut. As you can see, it does have a slight taper, but that's okay because actually the back of the kayak has a slight taper, so this may work well. So okay guys, so here's the yoga block after it's been cut completely. I did go back and trim this up, added a piece of Velcro just to kind of dress it up. You really won't see this. Will be underneath the seat facing the front part of the kayak, so not a big deal there. This will be the back where you may see it if you're looking at the back of the kayak. But anyway, what I've done is I've cut 2 pieces of the Velcro. Again, this is the industrial strength Velcro. We'll get it close up there for you. Picked it up at Lowe's. This is a 2-inch wide Velcro, and it's 4 foot long, so more than I'll need for this project. But anyway, so what we're going to do now is we're going to take and put this piece on here. Then we'll take it over to the kayak and install the second piece where it will keep it in place for us. So let's just peel this off. Okay. Now we'll take and just install this. Get it good and lined up. Now it's gotta look pretty, and everybody's gonna see this. Never up under the seat. So, but I have to say I am a perfectionist. Drives me a little bit crazy at times. See, they've been up there, not quite as perfect as I'd like it. So we'll just move that. There we go. That's on there really nice. So we'll take it now. I think what we'll do to make things a little easier with installation, we'll just take this piece here and install it on here, and then we'll peel it and stick it to the kayak. What I'll do when I get over to the kayak, I've got some alcohol wipes, so I will wipe down the kayak just to make sure that it's doesn't have any kind of oil or anything from the factory. Just want it to be, have the best adhesion it can have to the actual plastic of the kayak. So, see here, I think that'll be okay. All right. Okay, so here we go. So what I've done is I've laid out a little bit of just painter's tape to kind of give myself a guide, so I'll know when I set this in place exactly where it's going to sit and line up at to make sure it's nice and centered. Then I've got a just alcohol wipes here, just something that you can use to clean up the surface, just to make sure if there's any kind of oil from the factory that's removed, so they get a good adhesion. Let's wipe this up nicely. Okay. So now we'll take this plastic off here and we'll install this. All right, so put a little pressure here. Try to get this sitting up here nice, secure. Again, it's not going to go anywhere, but just take a moment to put a little pressure to it. Make sure it's stuck to the kayak really well. Okay, that's on there. That's not really going anywhere. We'll remove this painter's tape I use for my guides. Okay, so here we are. Again, we had the yoga block we've installed in the rear. So now we're going to take off the seat. Now, with the Bonafide and this RVR, the seats actually screw into a track system. So we'll unscrew that. And then the seat itself, see if I can get it up here where you guys can see it. The seat itself on these screws has a little retention washer. So you kind of have to hold that with your fingers and unscrew this, and you'll find out why later. But again, it has these small retention washers. So we're going to take off the handles. I'm just going to stick them back on here so that I can keep up with them should I ever decide to switch back to the way this thing was originally configured. So again, let's take this one off. And it's actually two retention washers, but again, you just hold on to it with your fingers, and they're pretty easy to remove. Okay, so we'll set the seat back here to the back for a moment. So again, this track system here has two screws in the bottom. Also has a guide for that seat to slide back and forth on that has a metal receiving head for it. So we'll take and loosen these screws up in here. All right, so we'll lift up this track here. We'll take out this slide guide that goes with the original seat. And then on the 2-inch lift here, what we're going to do, we'll lay this down here. You have to take the knob off the top. pull out your, I think this is a 3-inch, maybe 3.5-inch T-bolt. And the way these things get installed is, let's get this screw out of the way here. Slide these in. And you're going to want to make sure you put these screws back in these slots. Just makes it a little bit easier when you get ready to install this. So we'll take our screwdriver and just get them started. There's that one. We'll stand this one up here, hopefully. There we go. We'll tighten these down. Now, again, when you're using a power tool with your kayak, make sure that you have this torque set to the low settings. We'll move this one down to say 4, and then we'll tighten these down just to snug them up. And then we'll take a hand screwdriver here, and we will finish tightening these down. Now, if you're looking down at the actual track, I personally like to try to get this centered where I've got the same amount of distance on each end, as far as how the screws line up inside the mount here. So there we go. The way this is installed, you have to put the larger piece to the front so that when you sit the seat on there, it has an area to rest on the front side. So, and there is a guide here, the 3D yak included, if you guys can see that. Let's see. And that just helps the riser stay exactly where it needs to stay. And I apologize. It actually goes to the rear, as so, because the bolt's going to hit the front and the back of the seat will rest here on the spot here. So let's go ahead and take this one off and repeat the process. Again, we'll take and remove the knob. We'll insert our T-bolt and get these started again. We could take a bunch of takes and make this look perfect, but for time's sake, we're just going to roll with the punches. So let's get this one started. There we go. Again, we'll just snug these down. Have that torque set really low. And then we'll just make sure this is seated close to what we had on the other side. Like so. All right, so that's good and snug. We'll install the other block. Again, making sure we put the larger to the rear. And then once we've done that, it's a pretty simple process. We'll take the seat, line it up here with the T-bolts. Take our knobs that are provided by 3D yak and just tighten it down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to slide this back a little bit because I want to try to get the maximized space on the front of the kayak, and you'll find out why later. I've got a different video coming out that's going to utilize a piece of 30-30 to create a track across the center here to attach some accessories. We'll tighten this down, line this up and tighten this one down. Okay guys, so here is a front view of the seat with the 2-inch risers installed. We're going to come down here and have a look a little closer for you. So again, these 2-inch risers are produced by 3D Yak. Gentleman's out of Alabama, makes some really solid products. We'll review a few of the other products he has, some upcoming videos. Here you can see the yoga mat in the rear. You also can see that it does not block the rod butt rest that's in the back of the kayak underneath the seat. And so that'll be nice to be able to still have access to that if you need it. And let's have a look at the rear. So yeah, I think this is going to work really well. I'm right at 6 foot, so definitely going to appreciate just a little bit more height to be able to allow me to bend my knees a little easier when sitting and standing. And I'm going to take a moment here just to give you a little sneak peek of another video that's going to be coming out. This is going to be for something that's going to allow you to basically use a rail system to install tool holders or anything like that you may want here in the front of the seat. So what I've got here is some 30-30, and this is some scrap material from where I cut it down the side. So I'm using this as a 1-inch riser. So it's going to go one on that side, one on this side. Again, this will all get bolted down. It's just a little sneak preview. You may have already watched the video at this point because the video is probably going to be already on the web on YouTube. But anyway, so that's going to be installed there at the front of the seat. It's just going to give you the ability to install any kind of track mount accessories. I'm going to try and install the track pack in a way that will be hopefully allow me to have a little extra storage under in front of the seat. Also install a couple of tool holders. So anyway, I appreciate you guys taking some time to watch my video today. Hopefully you liked it, and if you did, take a moment to share the video on social media with your friends and family. Take a moment to hit that like button for me. And if you really like the content, I would greatly appreciate if you take a moment to subscribe. The more subscribers we get, the more videos and the more success hopefully we'll get to put out here for you guys to enjoy. Again, this is Jason with Jason Reardon Kayaking, signing off and thanking you all. Hope you have a wonderful day, and go make some memories on the water. Take care.